Wonderful viewers, you're welcome to your darling station, the Living TV, where we bring the world first to you. Welcome to another edition of your favorite program, Nigeria Today. Nigeria Today is a program of the Living Television. In Nigeria Today, where we discuss sundry and topical issues as it affects our country and our various states. Today, the man that will be talking to you or talking with us is not a person, but Honorable Tony Abanyim. Honorable Tony Abanyim was a one-time legislator with the abandoned local government area. He's also a public affairs analyst, and he is in the studio here with me. Honorable, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, viewers.
All right, today, your anchorman, as usual, is not a person, but Chinedum Adiele. Today, Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State has dared the party to suspend him for alleged anti-party activities. He said that those who are alleging or who want to try that are people who ran away from the party who are incidentally back, and that they cannot suspend him from the party. Over the years, for some time now, Wike has always been in the news because of the crisis in the PDP. And is that not saying that one man is above the party?
That's a very interesting question. It's just, you know, I don't think anybody is above the law. I don't think Wike is above the party. But what I can say that is going for him is what I can describe as standing there for the party when every other person ran away. Including the man who is today the presidential candidate. Some PDP governors. Everybody ran away and left the party for Nyesom Wike and just very few others. The former minority leader, Senator Enya Baribe. They were the only two persons talking for the party. You know, every legislative sitting in the National Assembly, you will hear PDP House of Rep member cross-carpeted to APC, Senator cross-carpeted to APC, and all that. Wike was funding, he was talking, he was shouting, going around the country, you know, holding the party. You know, if Wike had done what he's demanding for, is what I can describe as going to equity with clean hands. To an extent, his hands are clean because what he's pushing is justifiable. To the best of my knowledge, the PDP is not learning from history. Probably they've forgotten 2015 when every other person, when there is this kind of crisis in the party, and at the end of the day, they were in power. And this kind of crisis came and they lost out. Not to talk of now, they are not there. So, to the best of my knowledge, Wike's demand is justified. If he had done anything, you know, illegal, anything that is anti-party, I'm a family member of PDP. In 1998, some of us were there. We spent, you know, our fortune, you know, to give that foundation to PDP. We contested the first election here at PDP, and some of us won. Yesterday, he was not the chairman of the party. He didn't die. And today, he is. If he's asked to step down, what is wrong about it? So they have to sit down, call a wider meeting where every stakeholder, you know, jumbo stakeholder will sit on a round table and discuss the way forward. So that's my take.
All right. About last week, all the governors, PDP governors in the Southwest and stakeholders came together, held a meeting, and also insisted that the national chairman of PDP, Ayo, should step down. Even as we speak, I think Abia Atiku is not yielding to that.
To the best of my knowledge, you know, Wike alleged something that is very weighty. That the national chairman collected 1 billion naira from a presidential aspirant or candidate. Who knows who the person is? You know, and it is said that you put your mouth where your money is. So if somebody has feels he has secured a certain position and somebody must be there to, you know, midwife, you know, to the end of it, and you want to change the baton. They want to take away the baton from the person. Basically, and say you are a thief, Prof. You are a thief. There's nobody going to.
But I'm not.
Yes, I'm just don't get scared. So that is the problem. So for Wike to have said that somebody collected 1 billion, that the national chairman collected 1 billion, it's over 4 days. The man has not refuted it. So it means something actually went wrong somewhere. Waters may have passed under the bridge. So Atiku may be scared, because what it means is that if the national chairman is coming south, definitely has to roll. A lot of people will resign. Sam Anyanwu, Senator Sam Anyanwu, Samdadi, who is the national secretary, must go down. And so many other people. It means you are going to, if Kai is not taken, you are going to bring in an entirely fresh
cabinet reshuffle.
Yes, a shuffle totally. Or probably they may go the caretaker way. Who knows? But the man is scared because he felt he has secured his arrangement in microzoning.
Yes, as accused Wike of that microzoning as agreed, by the party executives, and that is why, and he is the major reason why P2B could not emerge as the presidential candidate, and that he did that in agreement with he did that with this man. The man we're talking about is Daniel Bwala.
The lawyer.
Yes.
The man that came from APC and now in PDP.
Exactly.
And is at the front seat. I wonder. That's interesting.
And he said, if he's talking and pointing accusing fingers on Atiku and even the national chairman, what about what he did? That he betrayed even the Easterners.
Good.
Well, it is alleged anyway. And then I wouldn't want to know if it is as a result of what is happening in PDP that these accusations are coming up, or whether they are factual.
There's no truth about it. It's a matter of power. Everybody wants to have it. In some families you see, same parent individuals heading towards different political parties. There's nothing wrong about it. Or if Wike sabotaged the microzoning, that is not where we are now. That is what Barrister Bwala is trying to do is to whip up sentiment, kind of trying to push us against Wike to say, oh, is that what happened overnight? And you are now trying to get us to support you now. We are not going to do it, kind of trying to mobilize support against Wike.
And why didn't he come up with
before now? Yes. So that is not where we are now. We are saying what Wike. Why didn't he tell us that time? What Wike is saying now is where we are. It's obtainable, it is possible, it has been done in the party in the past, and there's nothing wrong about doing it now. So that is federal character for you. If Atiku that is being called a unifier cannot bring together a little family of PDP that is less than 5 million out of 200 million plus we are here. So how is he a unifier? This is a test case for him to be that unifier is being called. It is now time to test the waters. It is now time to bring it to fruition. Let him tell us he's indeed a unifier. Let there be sacrifices. Even if it's the person that gave the 1 billion. You understand? He's a businessman. In business, you make gains, you make losses, and all that. So what he should do is to see it as a sacrifice towards salvaging Nigeria. What the crisis is trying to do is to give somebody an advantage. The obedient people are jumping up and they are jubilating because, to the best of my knowledge, I know that anybody, that is my own conclusion, if anybody that is living, if we have 10 persons leaving PDP because of the crisis in there, 8 is heading towards the obedient movement. Take it or leave it.
It's all right. Now, do you think if at any time the PDP decides to change their national chairman, will it affect Atiku's ticket in any way?
It cannot in any way affect him. So that is what people are now trying to, think over. Why is this man not coming out to be a nationalist, a pan-Nigeria he is known to be? Why is he being selfish now? Why is he insisting? Why can't he just have, if he becomes the president, when Obasanjo was there, it's just a matter of the party decided, and you are called to resign. It has happened to so many people. So why is he insisting that it must be you? Why is he now trying to, make sure, he's now saying that the letters of the law, the constitution of the party must be followed to the letter. Now it is because you are involved. It has happened to several people. Call it Amadou Ali, call it Bamanga Tuku, call it everybody. What do you call him? Awudo and all the rest of them. Each time they are called to each time they are called to step down, they do it in less than 24 hours. So I don't know why this one is becoming a national crisis, kind of.
Okay, an Abia lawmaker, Obinna Ichita of the Abia State House of Assembly, and the traditional rulers in Abia State has urged Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari to release Nnamdi Kanu on health grounds. A report from the family said the health of the young man is seriously deteriorating. And do you think is it just because of the health challenges that the traditional rulers, because I think this is the first time the traditional rulers are welding into this, urging Mr. President to release him. Do you think it is the appropriate time, maybe just because of the health ground?
Yes, my brother, if there is a health challenge on him, because he's not getting any younger, now he's above 50. I don't want to look at the political, undertone of, the young man in Chita trying to fuse himself into that movement of demand. But my brother Nnamdi Kanu should be let go. I don't think Nnamdi Kanu deserves what he's passing through today. The best thing that can give us peace in this part of the country is the release of Nnamdi Kanu. There'll be quietness everywhere across Southeast. The security problems we are having here is also associated with the man being held here. His followers, those who believe in him, not just those that believe in him, but every goodwill, every right-thinking Nigerian, every goodwill, every man of goodwill. No, Nnamdi Kanu doesn't deserve to be incarcerated to that extent. The federal government has spent billions of naira pursuing Nnamdi Kanu, but I've not seen one herdsman arrested. I've not seen one terrorist, arrested. Rather, they just turn back the next day and tell us they've repented, and they will be, absorbed into the society, giving jobs, good accommodation. I was told, somebody told me that some of them who wants to go to school are even sent abroad. Nnamdi Kanu has not held a gun for one day to shoot anybody. If you have all these allegations against him, that he was somewhere broadcasting and telling people to kill and all that, good and fine, he's not running away. Interpol is there. Allow him, even if he runs to anywhere, to Russia, England, or wherever, they can trace him and bring him back. You understand? Give him that. Holding him back is not helping matters. It is causing more problems. Now, his followers will start getting angry by the time they now hear that the man is getting down. So to the best of my knowledge, to the best of my ability, as a patriotic Nigerian, as a good citizen of Nigeria, who wants peace and development for the country, let Nnamdi Kanu be released to go and see his private doctors, taking care of his health, and he can come from his house to answer his cases.
All right. Do you think the Igbos, especially the Apex Igbo organization called Ohaneze Ndi Igbo, and also our governors in the southeast here, and the general public?
So who are you talking to? Who are you going to address? No matter how much you demonstrate, the man is not interested to listen to you. Do you know how many billions of naira we lose in the southeast every Monday? And that is biting hard on the economy of the country. And because the man is not a businessman, he doesn't know what it means to buy and sell. He doesn't know what it means to go and borrow money from banks, use your properties to get as collateral to get money from the banks to buy goods that will be supplied to customers and all that. And you're given 6 months to refund the money. If not, your property will be auctioned. The man doesn't know those things. If not, if he is experienced about what business is all about, particularly in the southeast, he should have done something. But because it doesn't bother him, he has been a government begin from the age of 18. At the age of 21, 27, he was already a petroleum minister, became a central governor of a northern region or whatever, became a head of state, became a PTF chairman, where money is, when money was here. So the man has been a government picking since he was born. None of his child has sold to his stick anywhere. So if you like, sit at home for 100 years. It doesn't concern the man at the center. So that is why our people are being, lackadaisical about approaching him.
All right. On why Ohaneze Ndibu has not adopted P2B after so many months and years of agitation for Igbo president. There was this social clip alleging that Ohaneze Ndibu demanded payment from one comrade Kennedy Iyere as a condition to support a campaign for a Nigerian president from the southeast. Though when the Ohaneze Ndibu heard that, they vehemently denied the allegation of demanding money from any person to support a campaign of Nigerian president from the Igbo extraction. The Ohaneze Ndibu described these accusations as most fallacious, mendacious, and also callous of all falsehood, aimed at tarnishing the image of the average Igbo man.
Let me tell you, the P2B movement, even though I'm of the PDP, the P2B presidential aspiration has gone beyond Ohaneze. It's no longer an Igbo. It's no longer. P2B is not interested in. He has said he's not coming to be an Igbo president. He is coming to be a Nigerian president. I'm of the PDP. But I want to tell you that my son, who is just 18, today I told him to go and get his voter's card, his PVC. He started asking, he has not gotten it. He started asking me, Daddy, I hope we are voting for P2B. You can imagine. The Edo State governor said it that even his own wife is obedient. So Obi doesn't need Ohaneze. In the market there, in Arena market, how many people knows what is called Ohaneze? They are very unpopular. Nobody, exactly. They look at them as one of these political parties. Nobody sees them as, as a welfare platform for Igbo people. So whether they adopt P2B, even Ohaneze is adopting P2B, may even cause more problem for Obi. So it's better they stay where they are. It has gone beyond Ndibo. P2B's thing has gone beyond Ndibo. If what INEC told us about the election of 2023, if what happened in Osho and Ekiti, Osho particularly, yes, is going to be replicated in 2023, I want to tell you that PDP and APC, they are all gunners.
Well, viewers, I also want you to remember that whatever opinion aired here is owned by the person, the speaker directly. It has nothing to do with the opinion of the Living Television. So while saying that this Living TV is not a political party, but we are free to have all political parties, just like we had the chairman of ABGA the other day here, and both APC, all parties are all welcome to Living Television. All right, Honorable, yeah, you just said something about P2B having grown beyond the Ohaneze Ndibu of a thing. Yeah. But as the apex organization of, and with the saying that charity begins at home, and don't you think that the Ohaneze Ndibu is also supposed to be behind them?
I want to tell you, as far as 2023 presidential project is concerned, P2B has no hope. P2B, his home is Nigeria. Okay. Not the southeast, not the southwest, or the north. His home is Nigeria. Okay. Do you know what is happening? For the very first time since I started participating in politics, in 1991, down 98, when I contested the election, till now, for the very first time, I'm a media person. Nobody has ever done a 1 minute jingle for any politician free. Yeah. But this time, people are preparing jingles, both visual and audio, for P2B, skits and all that, free. That people that has never met P2B for the first time are doing all of these things for him, campaigning for him, organizing rallies for him. You can imagine that. So somebody should think and ask himself, what is actually going on?
All right, our wonderful viewers, we'll be going on a very short break. Just remain where you are, don't touch the dial, and keep watching the program from the Living TV. We'll be back shortly. Wonderful viewers, you're welcome back. I am happy you're still there watching your darling station, the Living TV. We are still on the program Nigeria Today with my guest, Honorable Tony Abai. Yeah, Honorable, the presidential candidate of All Progressive Congress, APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has mocked Atiku Abubakar, the presidential candidate of PDP. Tinubu said Atiku has lost out of the presidential ticket based on the crisis rocking PDP. And that is to say, automatically, he has no contender.
Is he contesting an election? Has he no more crisis than Atiku? How is he saying Atiku has lost out because of the internal crisis? What if Atiku resolves it today? His own is internal. His own crisis is endemic. How can he, at this material time, APC as a zero-minded party? That is, I don't know who gave them that dummy. What happened in 1993 when Nigeria was still, people still think that, we can stay together, we can move on together. And in the last 8 years, somebody came here and broke the country into pieces. To worsen the matter, the same party came and gave us, what it means that, I don't know. So how can he say that Atiku has lost out because of the internal crisis that can be resolved over a bottle of beer? And his own that is endemic, that is internal, that people are groaning. Even his fellow Muslims are saying that they took a wrong decision. It means he doesn't have any regard for the Christians. So I want to tell you that Tinubu has a more dangerous problem. His own case, his own problem is worse than HIV. So he should go and face his own problem and solve it. He should go and let him just think out how to pacify Nigeria, how to tell us, how to convince us to absorb and accept the Muslim ticket in this era where every religion has gone its own way, where every religion also has, is trying to go their own way.
Talking about Muslim ticket, I don't think we are being religious here because I know it has always been that way. Mm-hmm. And why do we have this recent upsurge, crying about Muslim ticket? Mm-hmm. It has been so before now. Mm-hmm. So why is Nigerians crying about this?
I'm saying that the body language and character of those in charge in recent times made our people start thinking that where you come to means we don't belong here. We are not part of what you are doing. So they cost it. If you want to lead well, you lead by example. The historical nature of Nigerians, religious nature of Nigerians, where we are coming from, shows that we are like kerosene and water. If you pour water into the kerosene, you cannot drink it. You cannot use it to cook. That is as good as what this country is. That is what our founding fathers told us. You may have watched a clip by Ahmad Bello, 1954, what he said and killed the next day. The Jewish man will tell his child, look at that Palestinian, be careful with him. The Palestinian woman will tell the daughter, that Israeli, don't go close to him, he's your enemy. It is as good as how we are here if we can tell ourselves the truth.
But irrespective of what Ahmad Bello said then, mm-hmm. irrespective of what he said then, mm-hmm. Nigeria has always fared better together until recently. So where are we?
If we are fared better together, where are we?
Until recently.
Until recently? Yeah. 8 years. It's a long time ago. So where are we today? What have we achieved in the last 8 years? Tell me one thing we've achieved in terms of global competitiveness. Where are we? This man went to the UN General Assembly last week, and do you know what he said? That the development of every country is measured by their educational standard. At the end of the day, ASU is here, over 6 months on strike. So what is he telling the world? He has told the world that, because you can see, he has given the verdict himself, telling the world that development of every country is determined by its developmental educational standard. Now that our education is low and has almost crashed, it means we are not going nowhere. So they've not done well, my brother.
All right, the Supreme Court has struck out the suit challenging the outcome of the National Convention of PDP that produced the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Honorable Cosmos Ndukwe, former Deputy Speaker, Abia State, and former Commissioner also in Abia State, and also PDP aspirant and PDP presidential aspirant, lodged the appeal and specifically challenged the refusal of the party to adhere to its zoning policy in the nomination of its presidential candidate for 2023 presidential election. The five-member panel of the court unanimously held that the court lacked the jurisdiction to hear the suit.
Yeah, because it is purely an internal party issue. The party can, decide. They have the BOT, they have the National Working Committee and the Central Working Committee and all that. Those organs that decide what happens in the party. So they decide, he that pays the piper dictates the tone. They decide what to do. But what they've succeeded in telling the Igbos, both the PDP and the APC, what they've succeeded in telling the South is that, you are just pitching, you are not part of this place. You can't tell me that Obasanjo, we came here and in 1998, the entire Southeast state and South voted for Obasanjo to become the president of Nigeria, where even his wife voted against him in Ogun State. Doesn't have one councillor from PDP.
All the states.
You can imagine, I'm just talking about Ogun State, for instance. So if you don't have a councillor in your own ward, it means your wife voted against you. And he became a president. And we've been here for PDP in the last 20 years. All of us know what the outcome was. So what Cosmos Ndukwe is pushing for is just to probably let's have an authority in the, be announced in the law books. The matter couldn't have gone to anywhere.
Okay, if you're saying so, let's assume the board of directors, the BOTs of PDP, and the National Working Committee, and so on. Let's assume they aid for the particular agreement, and you don't think the steps he took was a right one?
Well, such moves can, what that suit could have made a meaning if we have a constitution that is people-oriented, if we have a constitution that has a future. The constitution we have here is just the mere military, what I can call the cowboy arrangement. They just brought a piece of paper, wrote it in a way to suit them so that the crisis will continue. And at the end of the day, if the crisis continues, there won't be time to come and start asking who did this and did all that. Because you can remember countries like Indonesia, those that ruled Indonesia in the last 30 years are still going to jail today. You know that? Good. So the military, they know what they did. Because if the constitution we have today is people-oriented, one can now go to court and be sure. The cases in the courts now, because the judiciary, I don't know, we have a lot of lacunas in our laws. So you can pick from here and there and throw away a very good case, a case that could have made everybody that the rule of law should be respected. But here, the lawyer and the judge must find a way to wriggle out, no matter how clean and how good your case is. That's the kind of constitution we have. So that's my take.
Are you saying what Honorable Cosmos Ndukwe did was a fruitless one?
It's just a mere academic exercise to give the judges an opportunity to speak more grammar and to go into our law books. For those of us who will be studying law at old age.
I think it's in line with the pursuit of Wike as we speak. Because what he was talking about is to make sure that this thing is zoned down. And I'm sure he bought the ticket, the nomination ticket.
Cosmos Ndukwe?
Yes, Cosmos.
Actually, he went and spent that 40 million, just to shoot the wins.
And he's no more in the rest because it was not zoned down here. Maybe he would have been the president of this country.
Who knows? They never, in politics, 2 + 2 is not 4.
Now, I'm talking about our constitution, as was made by the military. What do you think is the function of the National Assembly, even as we speak, since the inception of democracy?
Yes, just like I said, the constitution is configured in a way it will suit a certain group of people, a certain section of the people. And those that are enjoying so much from it are more in number. There's nothing you can do about it. You know, somebody was saying on one of the radio stations that between now and the next 10 years, virtually all the former governors may end up in the Senate. And the other person was asking, why can't somebody put a law that if you come down, if you are going out as a governor, you don't come to the Senate? And somebody there is now saying that the senator there wants to be a governor. The governor here wants to go and be a senator. So, who will put down such law? You can imagine. So, the constitution, you know, to put down that constitution and say, let's look at it holistically and see those that are anti-people, those that are anti-unity. Let's throw them away, because a lot of people, it's in the crisis we have here in this country. It's very, very difficult to achieve that. As it is, they like it, they enjoy so much, because if you look at that constitution, a lot of things will be checked on that constitution. The immunity clause that has made people, now there is a law that says you don't try a governor even after leaving office. You can see they're all being released from prison. Those that still have cases in the court have been, you know, let go. Then, the, what do you call it, Land Use Act, the Land Use Law, you know, that makes federal government owns everywhere. They can just take over this place as long as they want to use this place for any national land. They can take it over, destroy this place, whether compensation is paid or not. And all you well will be in your father's backyard, and you don't enjoy anything from it. Somebody will come from Sokoto and be the general manager of the oil well in your father's backyard.
So that is what the Waterway Act that are still debating on.
Yeah. So that's it. So federal government will now come and own the river in Bayelsa. This is water side in Aba. So that's the kind of law they're putting up for us. Because they know that to get that constitution amended requires a number, it requires votes. And where does that vote come from? Kano State alone has 44 local governments. How many House of Rep members do we have from Kano, and how many from the whole Southeast? So there is a lacuna somewhere. There is a very serious problem.
Yes, I don't know whether it was deliberate to have dodged. What are the supposed functions of our National Assembly members?
To make laws.
So,
yeah,
what are they doing?
That's what they're doing there. They'll be throwing it up and down, remove this one, put the other one. At the end of the day, you know, they'll end up satisfying themselves. So that's what I'm saying. So they must make that law. If they want to amend, they will amend it in a way to suit them as an individual, suit their region, suit their, their tribe. So that's what we're suffering here.
All right. Shortly before we call it a quit today, the ASU filed 14 grounds of appeal against the Industrial Court. We know that the National Industrial Court had directed that the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, should end the ongoing strike, which started on the 14th day of February. And ASU, has gone on appeal for that.
Yeah. And
then we know about this. It has lingered. And we also know that the federal government came up with something about 25.4% to the lecturers and 35%, increase to the professors and so on. Now, by this, asking them to go back to classes, and they are going for appeal, that means they have not accepted the federal government's.
He that pays the piper dictates the toll.
I agree.
If we have a listening government, if we have a caliber of people that, have value, then the Minister of Education is a journalist. Where you put a square peg in a round hole, it won't match. Then Ngige, who is the Labour Minister? What do you expect from him? Labour, whatever.
He's a medical doctor.
He's a medical doctor. So why didn't they use, even though those that have been in those ministers in the past who have been professors, 501 and all the rest of them from the military era down now, who were ministers of education, didn't also, give us any hope. After all, Goodluck Jonathan, the former president, was a lecturer, a classroom lecturer using chalk to write on the board. Owing a teacher. What if the wife is a teacher? The daughter is a teacher? And you're owing them for 8 months. Not even 2, do you even, just like a laborer who comes to serve cement and block to the mess. At the end of the day, he removed the overall to wash off himself and put on the proper thing to go home. Then the foreman will tell him, oh, don't worry, you come tomorrow. You've killed him. So the problem is that the government of the day doesn't have value for education. You can imagine something happened in about a few days ago, or a few months ago, where a young man came there and said he's giving our children scholarship, taking them to, what do you call it, Cotonou, Togo, and all the rest of it. And if you see our youth at Binet's Hotel, I was there live, jubilating, jumping. I was asking them, where do you think we are going? Cotonou? That sees a Nigerian, just like, you know, if the day I went to Cotonou to buy my first car, they were looking at me, the kind of reception I got from these, you know, Benin Republic guys, you know, that is where our, I'll show you the video, I recorded it. So, what are we saying here? Let a square peg be in a square hole. ASU should go ahead and pursue that course. Let our children stay at home for 2 years and let the proper thing be done. That's my own stand.
But I think the Speaker of the Federal House, Femi Bajabiamila, that time held a meeting with the ASU and they had a...
Wants to go home. So if you like, stay at home, just like I said earlier. We are protesting about the Nnamdi Kanu, and people are saying every Monday nobody should go to anywhere. It doesn't come. The banner, Obasaya. You know, so these ASU people, let them go ahead and stay at home until 2023. By the grace of God, a new thing will happen in Nigeria, and we need somebody who will listen, somebody who has value for education.
Okay, Honorable, shortly before we go, because of our time, I know you've been there before as a legislator in the local government, and don't you think it will sound, or rather be very imperative for a law to be promulgated to ensure that all these government functionaries, both federal house, senators, assembly, governors, there should be a law prohibiting them from sending their children abroad. So let us see how we can bring sanity and quality education.
What is wrong in going to overseas to study?
And that is why they are not...
Let me also ask you, and who made the law to stop them?
The same people.
So it's possible. Somebody has been in the Senate for 16 years and he wants to go, you know, to make it 20. Some people are there for 18, they want to make it 12. You know, unless the entire senators there, okay, if new ones are going in, my brother, if you see some 5 million in your account today, a lot of things will start changing in your house. So if somebody is going in to be a fresh senator, the first thing that will go into his head is how to take his children out of this place. Even myself, as little as I have, my boss is, I'm thinking about taking my children out of this place. So the man that is also going there and new, you want him to do the law against himself? No, untie it. You cannot untie it. If you untie it this way, the other one coming this way. If you want to start from the rear, this other place, you know, that is how Nigeria is.
Don't you think 2023, finally, don't you think 2023 will usher in a better government that will turn this country around for better?
Every right-thinking Nigerian is saying if we miss it by 2023, everybody should think about running away from here, including me.
All right, wonderful viewers, we are not thinking about running away from here because this is our country and we ain't got no other country except this. So we are thinking about to make it better. Where is your PVC? You have yours. If you have yours, vote wisely. Don't allow yourself to be deceived by any form or any group, the money bags and so on. If you sell your birthright, if you sell your PVC, you have sold your birthright. And if you refuse to vote, it's not going to be business as usual. So on this note, we'll be coming to the end of the program. And remember, we have here Honorable Tony Abanyu. I want to thank you immensely for being part of this program.
Thank you so much.
And our viewers, I want you to remember our Living Television Club that comes up every Saturday. I want you to come to our station, #1 Georgia Street, opposite Ezema Police Station, to make your inquiries and be part of this. The Living Television Club is a club where you are entertained. We have stand-up comedians. We have a lot of things, educational programs that will enhance your family, your children, and so on. It's for everybody. Endeavor to come around, make inquiries, and register. And always remember, Living TV will bring the word first to you. I am your anchor man, Chinedu Adiele, signing off for now. Remain there and keep watching our programs.